Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new movie reaction, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. This is the extended edition that we are going to watch. Hello.
Hello.
What do you expect jumping into this new trilogy series of the Tolkien world?
I don't expect nothing because I don't really know what the movies are about. I just don't want to imagine what the movie could be. I just want to discover and don't have any wish about anything. Maybe I would like to see all the characters we saw in the boat. I think it will be at the end of the last movie.
Okay, the characters that left. Oh yes, because at the end of the Return of the King, you mentioned the fact that maybe this movie, The Hobbit, was about Bilbo going with Frodo and the elves, everything.
Yes.
Okay, you mentioned that.
Yes, and that's the only things I expected. I just want to be surprised.
Okay, that everything?
Yes.
All right, if that's everything, people, you know how it goes. The full-length reaction is available on Patreon. Link down below in the description box. So are the reactions, the full-length reactions to all of the Lord of the Rings movies. So are going to be the reactions to all of the Hobbit movies. And that's pretty much it. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. Let's go.
You asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures. Stronghold of Thrall, king under the mountain, mightiest of the dwarf lords, Erebor.
Beautiful.
Built deep within the mountain itself, fashioning objects of great beauty out of diamond, emerald,
I love it. Stupid, but I love it.
deep.
You have a big nose. I forgot that.
The heart of the mountain. The Arkenstone. And their rightful
Is this a dwarf?
It is
Who?
The king.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old ones.
Yes, but I didn't see that the king was a small people.
Small, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you see the old dwarves, they have big clothes, and the
big
beards, and the big nose.
Yes.
The first they heard was a noise like a hurricane coming down from the north.
He seems aggressive.
Dragon.
Yes. I don't see his face.
But you don't see the dragon at all. You see bits and pieces, but the tail. You can try to get an idea of the scale or not.
Did they going to help them? I'm sure not.
Thranduil would not risk the lives of his kin against the wrath of the dragon.
That explains why they hated. Yes. Why the dwarves and elves hate each other.
In the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he never forgot.
Fireworks!
A party trick conjured by wizards on mid.
To Shire.
Yeah.
It's not ready yet.
Not ready for what?
Reading.
It seems like they never get older. Like they have the same face.
The actors, you mean?
Yes.
Elijah Wood, who plays Frodo, doesn't really age. It's pretty much like you.
Unsociable.
Unsociable? Me? Nonsense. Be a good lad and put that on the gate.
Unsociable, no.
Never.
Poppycocks.
I
He wouldn't miss a chance to lit off his whiz poppers.
don't get when it happens.
Ah.
Before it disappears.
Obviously.
No, I mean,
No, but I know. We'll see if maybe there's an answer or not.
smoke.
Good morning.
What do you mean? Do you mean to wish me a good morning, or do you mean that it is a good morning whether I want it or not? Where I belong to it. I'm Gandalf. And Gandalf means... me.
No idea you were still in business.
And where else should I be? I'm pleased to find you remember something.
To be fair, I'd be Bilbo, I'd be freaked out.
Yes.
Dwalin. That's your son's.
Yours. Do we know each other?
No.
Balin, at your service. Oh! Evening, brother. Oh.
Ouch.
Feely. And Kilian. At your service.
You must be Mr. Boggins. You can't come in, you can't.
For taste.
It's a party.
Oh.
Yeah. I hate for that to happen at my house.
Yes. He seems very tall.
Just like last time.
They all have same names. Why there is too much food in it for just one man?
Hobbits, they love food. But yeah, I wonder how come it's not gone bad over time.
It's going to explode. They have no respect for nothing.
That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
He's here.
He's alive.
Gandalf.
There is no way into the mountain.
That, my dear Balin, is not entirely true.
Magic.
I don't understand why Bilbo needs to be here.
That's why we need a burglar.
Good one, too. An expert, I'd imagine. And are you?
Easy.
No. I'm not a burglar. I've never stolen a thing in my life.
If I say Bilbo Baggins is a burglar and a burglar, he is.
Nobody does that.
Honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
He seems more charismatic than all the dwarves. Charismatic? I don't know how to say that in English.
Well, charismatic. Then
All the dwarves.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, his feet.
Gone.
And they destroyed nothing.
No. It's quite a big house when you think about it.
Late for what? I'm going on an adventure!
Yes! You never came across that meme?
No.
Okay.
They all are on ponies.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't
Except for
sure.
maybe Gandalf is on a horse, most probably, yeah. Because Gandalf is.
Tall.
What did you think?
But home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
He never went out of the Shire.
Nope.
He began by beheading the king.
The Hobbit is graphic.
Wielding nothing but an oaken branch as a shield.
Orcs. So everybody hates each other in this movie.
Yes.
The only peaceful people are hobbits.
Pretty much.
That would be Radagast, the Prime.
Is he a great wizard or is he more like you?
Bilbo is really trolling Gandalf all the time.
He has
All
a
the
lot
wizard
of
thing.
energy.
Yeah. Let's see why.
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
We had 16. Now there's 14.
Yeah. I love the fact that they're just like,
Oh. He always has his plate on his head.
Trolls.
trolls. The plates.
These ain't sheep.
There are three.
These is West Nines.
Oh.
Ew.
What's come out of my uter?
No, it didn't come out of your uter. Oh. Oh, he's full. Oh.
Oversized squirrel.
Make him squeal.
Drop him!
Ah. This said. He's happy because he's got the thing.
I like the songs. I like the songs.
The song, the music.
Yes, music.
Lay down your arms.
Bad position.
Or we'll whip you off. I don't fancy being turned to stone.
The secret is to skin them first. Infested with parasites, it's a terrible business. I wouldn't risk it, I really wouldn't.
We don't have parasites.
Oh, guys.
I've got parasites as big as my arm. The dawn will take you all.
God has spoken.
Can we eat him too?
They don't like sun.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Yes, you did. Well, you know, you said earlier. You said the dawn is soon, and I don't fancy being turning into stone. He said, and you know these trolls. 3 trolls. Doesn't tell you anything.
No.
Okay.
Back, looking behind.
I don't want to smell. In this cave.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Horned. Here, this is about your size. The blade is of elvish make, which means it will glow blue when orcs or goblins are nearby.
Oh, it's the sword he gave to Frodo.
Mm-hmm.
True courage is about knowing not when to take a life, but when to spare one.
Oh, it's
It's not a thought at all. It is a little stick insect.
The humor is funny, but it's a little tough for me. Little too much.
I was thinking that it's just my humor, but like you, it may be a little tough. A little tough, yes. Oh.
Necromancer has come.
He ran away.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, scary stuff.
I love it.
Sorry.
He's a little...
These are Gundabad wargs. They will outrun you.
These are Ruskabel rabbits. I'd like to see them try.
You're going to be killed. I mean, it's very difficult to hide in a
wastelands like
yes.
that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, before he warns... Oh, well, yeah. Shut him up! No. Run!
I don't know if it will be enough.
Not only do they have beasts, but yeah, dwarves and a hobbit and an old man. They are not necessarily the fastest.
But they can hide.
Yeah. He's abandoned us.
He's always disappear, Gandalf.
This way, you fools! Come on, move!
I think it's elves. Or maybe not.
Why not men?
Oh, it can be men too. They are too precise.
Okay.
What it is? A very powerful magic.
It does not make sense, Gandalf.
I like the when he just says something and there's no really sense in it, or you have to find the sense.
In the common tongue, it's known by another name.
Rivendell.
The hills. The atmosphere is very angelic.
Yes.
Like they are on the top of the world.
It's the elves, everything is paradise-like.
Even the way it's filmed or the atmosphere they create.
I must speak with Lord Elrond.
My Lord Elrond is not here.
Where is he?
He's here. Always alive. How old are they?
To come so close to our borders? Narthui Noer, Tolthui, Wayanam Van, and Nethainvi. Does he offer us insult?
He's offering you food.
Well, in that case, lead on.
They're not gonna refuse food.
Try it. I don't like green food.
Where's the meat?
Dwarves and elves.
I don't want to live in their house.
You want what?
I don't want to live in their house.
The dwarves?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, not me. I mean, what do you want to do? Like, you have a map that you can't read. It's... Come on, guys.
Fate is with you, Thorin Oakenshield. The same moon shines upon us tonight.
How convenient. It shines.
I imagine if they were arrived one day just after.
Then, and only then, can the door be opened.
So this is your purpose? To enter the mountain?
You gave it up yourself. He's not really stopped them from going. He's been really quite
I don't
respected.
really get the risk if they go there.
Sorry?
I don't.
Wait. So obviously we knew he was still alive.
Yes. He has a weapon in here for his hand. Do you know if they used real actors? Or it's only a numeric
The
image?
orcs in this movie are CGI. Yes. In the Lord of the Rings, they were all prosthetics.
Okay.
But here they are CGI. The sword.
Okay, so it was after Sauron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's
So
only
the-
it's 60 years earlier before the Lord of the Rings. Remember,
Okay.
it was written
Yes.
60 years earlier. And Sauron, the Battle of Sauron, was 3,000 years ago.
Just to do nothing. The throne of Erebor is...
Have you forgotten? A strain of madness runs deep in that family. His grandfather lost his mind. His father succumbed to the same sickness. Can you swear Thorin Oakenshield will not also fall?
You're not really discreet, guys.
Oh. Hello, creepy girl.
She's so beautiful.
Yes.
They take the lad here. He didn't. I did.
Oh. Not him.
You've been busy of late, my friend.
That was the guardian he said before.
What?
That was the guardian he talked about before. That Gandalf was not alone.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You must speak to me of Radagast the Brown. He's odd, I grant you. He lives a solitary life. It's not that. It's his excessive consumption of mushrooms. They've addled his brain and yellowed his teeth. I've warned him.
Found it in Dol Guldur.
The sword. How can she knows that? She's in his head. Is a sword?
Made for the Witch King of Angmar
Hmm.
and buried with him.
Weapon came from Angmar's grave.
He's always against Gandalf.
Because there is none. A single orc pack, a dagger from a bygone age, and a human sorcerer who calls himself the Necromancer. It's not so very much, after all. Dwarvish company.
No, that's the way we do.
It's quite a list.
Yes. And they all have links together. So. She's just on the top of everything.
She what?
She's on the top of everything. Like she's
Oh, she's gone.
the more beautiful, the more kindness. She can read in minds.
Yes, she's something.
Yes. Something higher than everyone.
This is no thunderstorm.
No, for sure.
Giants!
It's not the better situation you can be in.
God knows why they're fighting, but they're fighting.
Yes.
That's brutal.
I was asking myself why they are fighting like that. They're all alive.
Obviously. Oh!
Oh.
He left home. He should never have come. He has no place amongst us.
Be kind, please. Ouch. Oh, there are lots of hawks. Hungry hawks. They don't see him?
They've just forgotten him in the commotion.
Oh.
Bye.
It's not the better place to be when you are a dwarf.
When you're anybody, I believe.
Except orc.
No, not orcs.
So why the...
Yeah, subtitles,
So
yeah, I
blue?
know. Yeah, it's just...
They are goblin.
Yeah.
King under the mountain. Oh, but I'm forgetting you don't have a mountain. And you're not a king. Which makes you nobody, really.
Oh. It hurts.
Azog the Defiler was destroyed. He was slain.
Kill it!
Or run away.
What?
Kilian. It's the ring. So it's the music of the Lord of the Ring. So that's how Gollum lost the ring.
Safe paths in the dark. Shut up!
I didn't say anything.
I wasn't talking to you.
Don't be so aggressive.
Just us.
He seems very kind when he's not Gollum.
Yeah.
Baggins loses, we need to go.
Oh. Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh.
What have I got in my pocket?
That's no fair.
What have I got in my pocket?
A ring.
This is precious. Where is it? No!
I mean, he doesn't have any pockets.
Yes.
What have you lost?
Mustn't ask us! Not his business!
I like how Gollum's trying to be clever while freaking out.
Not its business.
It's nasty little pockets.
I like the way he can just become really mad and explodes and going to kill someone.
It's throwing rocks!
Why they are hitting them?
Why, what?
Why they are just hitting them?
Hitting?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was a saver.
Yes.
Fight!
Fight! I mean, you kind of knocked down everybody. Whoop.
Goodbye. I don't want to be followed by Gollum.
No, I wouldn't like that.
He sounds like disgusting. The probability is very low.
Just like for Frodo.
Yes.
It's magic.
I like this shot.
It's a lot of dead goblins down below. Gandalf is really skilled.
Too much style on them.
Surprise! It's like the boss fight.
The ending fight.
No, wizard.
Wizard.
This.
Oh, that.
That'll do it.
Oh, disgusting.
He was so easy to beat.
Yeah. Good.
Well, that could have been worse.
Oh.
They don't even care about him.
Who?
Everybody. The dwarves and Gandalf.
Don't care about Bilbo, you mean?
Yes.
No. Well, it's not like they know where he is or what happened. They're just busy fleeing right now.
Oh. Why you do?
Gollum was really intense. Like,
And Barbara. That makes 13.
We are 14.
Oh, what does it matter? He's back.
You don't have one. A home. But I will help you take it back if I can.
apologize. Yeah.
It never stops.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Ring, they always yes walked in these movies, and in this movie they always run for their lives. Take it back. There's no escape.
Up into the trees.
Move.
Go on a tree. I like the contrast of the dark sky and the little butterfly.
Thrain.
He's not just Thorin, he's Thorin, son of Thorin.
Yeah. Magic! Yeah, guys. It holds, obviously. Oh. Yeah. I don't know if Mr. Gandalf can do anything.
Oh. Charismatic. I think it's not really the great moment to fight with him. Like...
We lost somebody at the end of the first movie last time.
Oh. It's your moment.
The little Hobbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't think about the consequences of this act.
Hey, everybody.
The eagles.
You didn't remember the butterfly?
Yes,
Okay.
I remember. It's just remember me the scene with Frodo. Just the way the camera is.
He's passed out and he's safe. Don't scream.
They just don't know if he's alive.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like they're gonna check up on him right now.
That's true.
You. You would not survive in the wild. And you had no place amongst us.
Just saved your life, but it's nothing.
I have never been so wrong in all my life.
Okay. How are they going to get down?
Erebor,
It's far away.
the lonely mountain.
At least they can see it now.
Great dwarf kingdoms of Middle Earth.
Yeah, it's very far.
It's preserved. And lots of gold. Problems are there. You want me to talk?
Yep.
First of all, I like that the story is about Bilbo, the younger Bilbo, because we know now how he's get the ring, how he get the sword. Some elements are more clear about the story, why dwarves and elves are enemies or just don't like each other. I like too that the story is centered on the dwarves, but the name of the book is The Hobbit.
Okay, yeah.
And I understand that Bilbo has a part to play in this story, but I don't get why Gandalf take him. He said because he is afraid, but I don't know why Bilbo is just make him more safe because Bilbo is a little bit like useless in the first movie. Not really useless, but he's just don't do anything that can change the story.
Well, he saves Thorin.
Yes, at the end he saves Thorin, but at the beginning he says that he's just being more insecure with Bilbo. I don't understand why him. I enjoy the fact that it was in the same universe, the same landscape, that they are linked between the first movies and the Lord of the Ring. This first movie and the Lord of the Ring. Even for the writers, like just the link is good, I think. I don't know how to say that, but I like that we can find elements of the Lord of the Ring in the Hobbit.
Okay, yeah.
And that the story can be more clear. And I found it a little less darker than the Lord of the Ring. There are more lights, even if darkness is coming, is not really the same context, and I liked it. And it's pretty it.
Yeah. So I don't know what to start with. So it's called The Hobbit because the books are called The Hobbit. In fact, Tolkien he wrote three main works: The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and then there's a third. Well, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbits are like trilogies of books, and the third work that he created is called the Silmarillion, and is basically is like the Bible of the Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It's like it takes place thousands of years before all of this, and it's about the origin. It explains more of the universe, the origins of the peoples, the elves, the wizards, everything. And so these are his main three works. And so we've had the Lord of the Rings. Now we have the Hobbit. I don't know what's up about the third movie as of today. So the Lord of the Rings books, I've read them twice, quite a long time ago. The Hobbit books, I've read only them once, but a long time ago. So I definitely do not remember about anything. Well, not anything, but I definitely don't remember really well the books. So don't quote me on anything. So I won't really be referring to them. But so yes, so this takes place 60 years before, well, before what we saw at the beginning with Bilbo and Frodo. Like you said, we don't exactly know when it takes place, though there is a hint. There is a hint. I won't talk about it now, but if you pay attention, there's a hint to tell us that tells us when it takes place at the beginning with Frodo and Bilbo. So we go back 60 years before. Bilbo meets Gandalf, and they go on this adventure. Why Bilbo? I mean, it could have been any other Hobbit, really, but I mean, Bilbo is like a Hobbit that Gandalf knows of really well, because he's known him since he was little. Bilbo has no family, really, he's alone. So it seemed like to be a good Hobbit because all the other Hobbits are either quite old or they have families, so it might be because of that, really. So what just before I forget, in the end because I didn't talk about it during the Lord of the Rings, of course, but when Thorin in the end is passed out and Gandalf is like wavering his head over him and murmuring things, he basically did the same thing with Pippin, if you remember, in the Lord of the Rings. After Pippin took the Valentia, yes, he did kind of the same thing. And there are slight subtle things like this that Gandalf does throughout the movies, if you pay attention. With the butterfly, but there are other things, I couldn't pinpoint them right now out of memory, but when I see them I know. But he's slightly using magics at times to do this or that thing. But it's always done really delicately in the movies, and I really like that. You were quite right. It's the colors are bright. The atmosphere is quite bright in the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings, basically, it's like
the apocalypse.
What? Yeah, the apocalypse. The apocalypse, and the idea behind the Lord of the Rings is, to have something quite raw adventure without any sort of embellishment. While the idea with the Hobbit is to tell a tale. It's a story, so they kind of go with the bright colors and things because it's the idea of a story. I'm gonna say it now because I suppose one of you guys are gonna say it. I don't know if this is exactly what Peter Jackson would have decided to do from the beginning, because at the beginning it wasn't supposed to be him to do these movies. He was just supposed to produce the movies, and Guillermo del Toro, do you know Guillermo del Toro?
No.
Okay, well, he's another famous director. He was supposed to do the trilogy, but he at the very last minute he had to go on to doing another project. So Peter Jackson came back as a director, but since they had already been a year and a half into pre-production, they only had a year and a half to go, but they couldn't go back to redo all the things that the first director had planned. So basically Peter Jackson had to work on that and to go with it. So that is why it is different from the Lord of the Rings. I don't know if in the end, if given the time, if Peter Jackson would have gone with maybe an aesthetic more like the Lord of the Rings or not, but this is what we end up with. Regarding the elements that are connecting, you were asking about the age of Elrond and everybody. So this is 60 years before the Lord of the Rings. Well, 60 years before, I say 60 years basically before the time frame of the Lord of the Rings. And even before that, to give you an idea of maybe Thorin's age, like they said, the dragon has been sleeping in Erebor for 60 years before this movie here. So it's been 60 years since the dwarves have been
asleep.
Since the dragon's been asleep and since the dragon's taken Erebor.
60 years?
Yes, it's been 60
So
years.
how old are
dwarves? Are like
dwarves?
Dwarves, they're basically, if you want to have an idea of category age lifespans, they are men. Basically, they're
human.
Like 90 years, let's say 90 years, okay, 80, 90 years. The hobbits are pretty much the same. Then there are the dwarves. The dwarves could be 200, 300, something like that. The elves, they just live
forever.
Yeah, unless they get killed, murdered, of course. But if they can just live forever. And Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings, if you remember, there's a slight moment really fast where he says, for 300 lives of man have I walked this earth. So if you count roughly 100 years for a man, Gandalf's been here for almost 2,500 years, 700 years, something like that.
He's really old.
Yes. And Elrond, if you remember, in the Lord of the Rings, he was already there in the battle against Sauron, which took place 300 years ago.
Yes.
So Sauron... So don't quote me on that, people. I don't exactly remember. But I think Elrond is slightly older than Gandalf. And Galadriel is even older than Elrond. She's really, really old.
Yes, she's like a god.
Yeah, because you mentioned the fact that she was higher than everybody else in all the senses of it. And she kind of is, because she's really one of the oldest elves right now in Middle-earth. So she's got powers, and she's from that kind of elves that were really like, if there would be an elite race of elves, she would be one of them. Okay. And so kind of is Elrond and everything. And the elves, in fact, they have, you know, for Elrond, he had that sort of capacity to... He's not really giving prophecies, you know, but he could sense and see kind of in his his daughter's future and everything. Well, Galadriel has kind of the same thing, and basically all the elves have some sort of mystical sense, like a sixth sense, if you wish. It's not the same as Elrond, because Elrond's power is peculiar, Galadriel's as well, because they are lords, but every elf has kind of that mystical touch to them. Basically, Legolas, if you watch in the first movie, everybody is walking in the snow and has the snow right here, but Legolas is walking on the snow like he has, like he weighs
can
nothing.
be drunk.
He can't be drunk, and all sorts of things, if you pay attention, slight things. But another thing, that you asked me reacting last time was about the rings, what happened to the rings. So we know what happened to the 9 rings of the men. Now you know what happened to the 7 rings of the dwarves.
Yes.
So they said, so I don't remember the count, but basically some have been destroyed, eaten by dragons, because dwarves and everything. Sauron he had some, and another one has been lost.
Yes, I did.
So 4 have been eaten. Sauron took 2.
And the last
one is lost, and so the 7th.
Maybe.
Oh no, sorry, 4 eaten, 2 Sauron, and 1 lost. 7.
I don't really understand.
And so there are the 3 elven rings. Sorry. So in the Lord of the Rings, we were told that Galadriel had one. She presented it to Sauron, to Bilbo, to Frodo. Sorry, too many names. And so there are 2. Yeah, there's one that they definitely haven't said where it is. And this second one, I'm not sure if they said it or not, so I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till we've watched everything, so I don't spoil you anything, or not saying that they're gonna talk about it in future movies, but I'd rather we finish so I can disclose everything. So there are 2 remaining rings that you don't know of so far in the movies.
Okay. And I was asking the question that if I understand, the ring of Sauron can control all the rings.
Yes.
So if nobody was the ring, the others are just unusable.
No, it's not like that. The rings have a power on their own, but the one ring that Sauron created is a ring to dominate the other ones. It's a ring to overpower the other ones.
Okay.
So the rings on their own, they have power. They were meant to work like that. Okay. But the ring that Sauron created is a ring to basically overrule the other rings.
But how he did that?
It's never really explained at all. Even in the books, if I'm not mistaken, at no moment is it really explained how it exactly works or what it exactly does.
I have too much question, because for me it is details that just are not here to really understand the story. Like why he can create this ring.
Okay.
Why him?
That is something that I can say, I believe. Yes. Sauron is not a man, he's not an elf. Oh, no. Remember at the end of the Return of the King, we talked a little bit about the mythology of the Lord of the Rings and about... So there's a big god, it's called Iluvatar. Eru Iluvatar, sorry. The big god is the god of Middle Earth, okay? And then he has other, let's say, demigods or archangels, yeah, more demigods, who are called Valars. They're here, okay? Under that, there's another category of archangel this time, or called Mayas. And basically, Sauron is one of these guys here.
Okay.
He's kind of an archangel who's gone bad and who decided to go on Middle Earth and to assert power and everything. That's basically who Sauron is, which means that he was that big guy with this power and everything. And the wizards are a sort of under Mayas, if you want.
And Galadriel is
And no, Galadriel, she's an elf. She's an elf, but she's a powerful elf. She, like I said, she's kind of
But
that
she has
sort
a
of.
ring.
She has a ring.
So she's a little bit powerful.
Yeah, because 3 rings were given to the elves.
Okay.
And
Yes,
the
I
rings were
remember.
forged by another elf a long time ago.
Okay.
It's not something given by the gods. It's something made by an elf long time ago.
Okay.
But Galadriel and these elves are, like I said, kind of that elite kind of elves who are really, really powerful and gifted with godlike powers. They are not gods, but they are... So I don't exactly remember for Galadriel. Tell me, guys, but I do believe she was born... There's like this place, basically, where the first elves are born, and I believe she's born in that same place. I don't exactly remember if she's one of the first elves, one of the first people of elves, but basically she's really close to that, so it's like she's one of the purest elves, which means that that's why she's so powerful and everything.
Okay.
So yes, there's a lot of mythology. Obviously, to see the movies and to enjoy them, you don't need it, but it's always background, obviously, that when you know of it, you understand what's going on and everything. It makes sense why Elrond is around for so much, while Galadriel is like that. The dwarves, that's indeed nice to see them here, because in the Lord of the Rings you don't see them.
No, we just see Gimli.
Yes. I'm gonna say it right here, because they do not address it in the movie after this, and it's not detrimental to the story. Balin, you see Balin, like the old one. If you remember, in the Fellowship of the Ring, Gimli says, we should go to the Moria. My cousin Balin will greet us. And when they get into the Moria,
They're all dead.
They're all dead, and he cries over a tomb. And Gandalf reads what's written on the tomb, and it says, here lies Balin, Lord of the Moria.
Okay.
So in the Lord of the Rings, Balin is dead.
Okay.
You see the tomb of Balin, who is here.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that he necessarily died in this movie.
Yes,
It just means that
yes.
with the invasion of the Moria and everything, or maybe before that he died and everything. It doesn't necessarily mean he dies in this movie, so that's why I'm telling you that now. But yes, there are some things, when you're a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, you know, if you've read the books, you know that Balin, everything. You know the connections already when you're watching the movies. But if you just watch the movies, there are, like you said, all of these tiny connections. They talk about Balin in the Fellowship of the Rings. Here you see Balin. Elrond, Galadriel. Saruman. What did you think of Saruman?
He seems Saruman. He is seems like you can trust him.
Okay.
Like he has an idea in his mind. And he's always against Gandalf, that he's pretty always...
Oh, you feel you can't trust him, you mean?
You can't.
Yeah, you cannot trust him. Okay, okay, because I thought you said that you can trust him.
No, I can't trust
you cannot
him. Like
trust
he has
him.
an idea in his mind.
Okay.
And he's, yes, like I said, always against Gandalf.
Okay.
And his plan, like he has to feel better than him. But Gandalf has sometimes, every time right. He's every time right in his thought. So, like he's not a complex, but just he feels superior.
Yeah.
He needs to prove that Gandalf is just not a fool, but yes, a fool.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, I clear it up right now, he's not yet aligned with Sauron.
Yes.
Because Sauron is not back yet to Middle-earth. They don't know that he hasn't died, really. They don't know exactly the thing about the ring. Well, No. They know that Sauron is still around because, like you said, Sauron can never regain his true power. So they know he's still around somewhere, but they don't know about the ring. They don't. For them, at least for Saruman, Sauron is, like you said, he's vanquished. He can never regain his true dominion over Middle Earth. So he's not aligned with him because Sauron has not yet made a comeback.
Yes, he's just Sauron.
Yes, he's just
Sauron. Want to be the best and to feel superior of. I understand him because he's a white wizard, so he's just superior of.
I like that because when you say that, I suppose that because you're black, you have a black skin, there are some people in comments who are going to be, oh yes, of course she's black, so the white thing, it's supremacist and everything. No,
no,
for the record, we're not African American, we're French and everything. And so we've definitely not grown with all of that thing of black and white, really. So,
yes,
at least not as much as in the United States and everything. Talking about the ring, about regaining the ring, I think you noticed when Bilbo got back with the dwarves and he put the ring in his pocket.
Yes, and Gandalf see it.
Yeah.
Yes, but he just act like he didn't see it.
Okay.
And he just changed the conversation.
Okay.
And
do you think Gandalf knows? Because even us, we just saw Bilbo putting something in his pocket. We didn't exactly see the ring. We know it's the ring, but in the shot, we don't exactly see it's the ring. So do you think that Gandalf knows what it is or not?
Maybe he has stopped because when the dwarves asked Bilbo how he can go out with all the goblins, he didn't answer, and then Gandalf saw the ring, so he put something in his pocket. So I think he has stopped, but he's not really sure what is going on.
May have it down, yeah. You may know that something is up,
yes,
but not exactly what. Okay,
that's what I think.
But you don't think that he saw that it was a ring and a ring of power?
I don't know.
Okay. Just know he knows something is...
Yes, he knows something.
Another thing that I wanted to... yes, the Morgul blade. So you didn't recognize the Morgul blade when they first showed it. The blade, the sword,
yes,
if you will.
The sword of the... I don't remember his name. Like
the Witch King of Angmar.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't.
You didn't recognize it? Because I thought that you...
No.
Did you see the ghost in Dol Guldur where Radagast went and got the blade?
But I didn't make the link.
Okay, but But so do you believe this is the Witch King of Angmar, or do you think this is something else?
I think it's the Witch King.
Okay. I could show you again the scene, but I'm going to show you later. Because I thought that maybe you had seen or recognized at least the blade, but you didn't. But
no.
Yes, so basically to make sense maybe of the chronology, because they talk about the fact that Angmar was buried and everything. Basically, the Witch King of Angmar, we don't exactly know who he is. Even in the books, it's never explained who he is.
He's someone.
But basically, he ruled over the northern kingdom of Angmar and everything. And basically, there was some sort of rebellion, I don't know, civil war, if you will. And basically, Angmar and his followers lost. And so he was buried. And like Galadriel said, he was buried deep in the mountains of Rudor, I believe. And like Elrond said, these tombs are sealed with a powerful spell.
Yes.
So nobody can open them.
So why the sword is out?
But the blade is out.
Yes.
So that's it. And so there's that necromancer in Dol Guldur. Saruman says it's just a mortal man dabbling with black magic. The others are afraid of that necromancer who's summoning the dead. Any
Saruman
ideas?
is always like chill.
Like you said, Saruman, he likes to believe that he is always right, and he likes to believe that he has the power
Of everything.
to defeat everything and of everything. So to him, to think that something evil that could challenge the dominion that him and even the others, the other lords have on Middle Earth is unthinkable. So that's why he's in constant denial. No, there's nothing that can threaten us. Everything is good, and that's why he's like that. But so, what do you think about this necromancer? Because they talk about him. The story of the movie is not about that necromancer thing, but they talk about it. So, what do you think? Do you think it's gonna come into play against them with the dragon, with Erebor, everything? Do you think it's gonna be separate? Do you think we're gonna know by the end of the series what it's gonna be? What do you think?
It can be everything. Like maybe it will help to kill the dragon. Maybe like in the Lord of the Ring, there will be two story just apart, and maybe the sword will play a role. But I think it maybe help to kill the dragon. But why? That means that the necromancer is good people on the lies of Gandalf and everything, and I don't think like he don't seems to be a friend of everybody, of anybody. And I think there is a link with the Lord of the Ring movie.
Okay.
Maybe it's not, but I think the blade is here and the blade is in the movie, so I don't know.
Okay. Last thing. At the beginning of the movie, Gandalf mentioned the other wizards. That's the thing. They mentioned it in the Lord of the Rings, but I knew that they were gonna talk about it now, so I didn't want to talk about it at the end of the Lord of the Rings. You remember when Gandalf goes to confront Saruman before Saruman dies? Saruman is like, "What do you want? Do you want the keys of Orthanc and Barad-dûr and the staff of the 5 wizards?" He says it right now. He says it back then. He says, "and the staff of the 5 wizards." I didn't address it because I knew that Gandalf would talk about it right here. But so there's Saruman the White. There are 2 blue wizards.
Who are they? They talked about them in the books.
They talk about them in the books. I've forgotten the names as well. Damn it. But basically the 2 blue wizards, they've gone to the east and they never come back to Middle Earth. So they've gone on a mission. Basically because the wizards, they've come with missions, and the 2 blue wizards have come to fulfill their missions in the east. You know, it's called Middle Earth. There's the west, there's the east. So there's the east. Where's my phone? Have you seen my phone?
Here.
Oh, yeah. Because 2 blue wizards, Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna get their names. Because they are never, even in the books, they are never
here.
They're never here. Anatar and Palando, the blue wizards. That's the name. Well, that's their birth names. Because even for the record, Saruman and Gandalf are not their real names.
Yes, I noticed.
Even Gandalf, they call him Mithrandir. It's not his real name. It's just the name that the elves call him.
What is his name?
Olorin, I think. So they are the blue wizards. There is Gandalf, because there's kind of a hierarchy. Gandalf, and then there's Radagast the Brown. And so we met the last of the wizards. So I'm not a new wizard, the Radagast. What did you think of Radagast?
I liked him.
You liked him. I kind of find him. Say, please.
He's like, I don't know how to say that in English. A full person. Like you can't lies. Like everything seems normal. Like it's a simple person.
Okay.
I think that's why you prefer animals. Like they don't judge him.
Yes, it's Olorin, the name, Gandalf's name. No, you're quite right. But so I find it quite refreshing, to have a new wizard and to get introduced a little bit more to that world of the wizards.
Mysterious, just a full person, like just says what he thinks, and he's a little bit fool.
He's a little bit funny.
Yes, and yes, funny.
Funny in the sense, weird.
Yes.
But he's funny as well. That everything you have to say about this movie? Any more questions or not?
I was not expecting that.
That story, that story.
Yes.
Yeah, it's completely new story. So it's a prequel, completely new story with new characters apart from Bilbo, Gandalf, and a couple of few others. Obviously, but totally new story. We're going on this journey to discover a bit more of Middle Earth as well, because we're going to places that we have not seen before. And so we got mainly accustomed to the men and the elves in the Lord of the Rings. Now we get accustomed to the dwarves. So I really like the fact that we get to see all the different peoples and everything. Do you think you prefer more the artistic and narrative take that they have on The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings so far?
Maybe on The Hobbit.
On The Hobbit, the more colourful thing, more tale thing of it all. Okay, and so
I liked the story. I prefer the story of The Lord of the Ring.
Okay,
but I am not really lost in The Hobbit.
Okay. Yeah, you understand more things in The Hobbit. Yeah,
and
it's less mysterious. Yes.
The fact that he's more like a tale, so it's just easier to understand for me.
Okay.
It was easier to understand The Hobbit, maybe because I saw The Lord of the Rings, but
maybe yeah. Personally, I was really excited to get you to see The Hobbit because so I prefer the Lord of the Rings movies as the stories, the books, and everything. And the characters even if the characters in The Hobbit are great. But I was really excited for you to get this one because I think that it really seals everything. The Lord of the Rings, you get introduced to everything, and with The Hobbit, you get to see more and maybe to understand better some things maybe that you haven't understood in the Lord of the Rings. You get to discover more. And even Gandalf, you get to enjoy more of Gandalf, Elrond, Galadriel, Bilbo even in some way, because you get introduced to Bilbo. In the Trolls. You said, I don't know the Trolls. Yeah, I said, yes, you know the Trolls. These are the Trolls that Bilbo is talking about at the beginning of the Lord of the Rings. When he's talking to the little children at his birthday party, he's talking about 3 trolls.
Yes.
And these are the 3 trolls.
Okay.
And remember later, after Frodo gets stabbed, he's like, comatose and everything, and he wakes up and Sam is like, look, Mr. Frodo, these are Mr. Bilbo's trolls.
Okay.
And he looks upon him, and if you remember, there are 3 stone trolls.
Yes.
And so these are the 3 trolls.
Okay.
So that's another element you see that comes to tie in with the Lord of the Rings.
I'm sure I'm going to watch them again, and it will be more easier to understand in the lake, and maybe I will see the details that I didn't see, because now it's hard to understand everything because I have to concentrate on the.
You just discover the story first,
yes,
obviously, and after you see
I have
the
to
details.
understand on the language, and it can be just entity. Just yes, I can pay attention of all the details because
obviously.
I repeat it. It's very hard for me, even if I understand English. It's just very tough.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, and then in this movie, they talk a little. Things go a little faster than in The Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
pace-wise and everything. So it's an intense rhythm of reading and everything. And just for the record, we're listening to the movie a little quieter than we did The Lord of the Rings because of the mic and everything. So we have to pay kind of close attention. Sometimes we may not say something, but because we are paying, even I, because I've not watched the movies in a while, so paying close attention to what is being said, what is happening and everything. And so yes, of course. So I'm giving you all these details right now because I know that you're not going to watch them like next week. But yeah, in months, or I don't know, next year or so, when you rewatch them again, I expect now that you know the story, just like for The Lord of the Rings, now that you know the story, you'll be able to find some details and things foreshadowing and everything. Just like, yeah, I'll save it for later. Next movie is called The Desolation of Smaug. Any idea? You know who Smaug is?
Yes.
So the next movie, no, the orc is called Azog.
Okay.
Smaug is the dragon.
There's too many names.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, no problem. Smaug is the dragon.
Okay.
And so the next movie is called The Desolation of Smaug.
Okay. The desolation. Maybe he would die.
Okay.
Or maybe. Yes, I think he's going to die, but he's going to wake up. Because it's like we saw him open his eyes at the end of the movie. So I hope he's waking up by a bird. And maybe there's going to be a fight between the dwarves and the dragon. And I think everybody going to have a part in this story again, like in the Lord of the Ring. Like every characters will be important and has a role to play.
Okay.
Like Bilbo and Gandalf and Thorin.
So you see, just like The Lord of the Rings, it's a group thing.
Yes.
An adventure. We're coming on an adventure.
And there are going to be more step and more fight.
And more running.
And more problems.
Yeah. So yeah. So anything else?
No, that's pretty it.
All right. Pretty much it for me too. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching that reaction. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for being... If you've seen our Lord of the Rings reaction, thank you very much for being back. If this is your first time being here, do not forget to go watch our Lord of the Rings reaction. Well, her reaction really, because this is not my first time, as you may have understood. Yeah. Full-length reaction is available on Patreon. Link down below in the description box. We're gonna fare you well. We're gonna see you for the next movie or another reaction. Until then, please take care. Have a nice life. See you soon. Bye.